Hi, I'm Dr. Dayle Savage, Director of Career Development at Peabody College of Vanderbilt University. I'm happy to share today with you something that is a little elusive to most of us, and that is a form of networking that's called the informational interview. In my opinion, the informational interview is one of the tactics that we can use in our career strategy to find that just right employer. Because quite frankly, the informational interview is done for three different reasons. The first reason would be just that, to gain information. So what information might you need about a career? Perhaps you've been in your particular career path for a while and you're ready to transition. Perhaps you've only been there for a very short period of time, but I want more information about this other sector. So again, if you're moving from a public sector, you want to move to the private sector. You're working in the government, you want to go into the private sector. Or you're working in the private sector, you want to go into education now. You're going to need some more information about those changes. So you need to speak to those people who have been involved in that particular area of expertise, perhaps the position for which you long to be in, and talk to that person about, so what is it about your job? What is it about your career? What education, what training, what did you do to gain the success that you obviously have in your position? The other reason that we do informational interviews is to really take a look at a particular position. Perhaps we're in a career path, and in our organization, we know we have hit the ceiling, we can't go any further. So we might have to make a lateral move to another organization to be launched onto a different path. But you're looking for this particular position that's right out there. How and what are the steps that you need to get there for that position? So let's interview those people that hold those positions today, the position that you want tomorrow. Okay? Because as we all know, there's certain things and certain skill sets and certain competencies and accomplishments that we must have before we move into that next position. Now, are we always just right, just ready? No. But a person in an informational interview might be able to give you a few tips on how to get ready. Okay? The third reason that we would do an informational interview is to get into that organization that we really want to work in. And so with that, we're not only interviewing the person in that position, but we're interviewing in the organization for which we want to work. Oftentimes, I see that students and my alums will take a little bit of time to craft, okay, who do I want to talk to? Where do I want to move? I ask them really to look for about 25 names, 25 organizations that would be a good fit for them. Now, what might a good fit look like? Well, we're gaining information here. We're gaining information, so in your informational interviews, it's like a scavenger hunt, so to speak. What might you find? What are the clues that you're going to pick up that will lead you to the next informational interview, to the next informational interview? You have to think about it in this way. Typically, I say, take a protocol of only about 5 questions. Those 5 questions, if asked over and over and over again, would allow you to compare and contrast data so that you can analyze and say, this might be something that I want to pursue. When you're in an informational interview, you're asking your questions. You want to get that person to engage with you in a way. I know that oftentimes a person will ask for, well, I'd like to have an informational interview with you. Well, we can't really do an informational interview through a text message or even on an email. An informational interview is about the person. We either want to do it on the telephone or face-to-face. So either way, with that telephonic communication or face-to-face communication, you need to pretend that you're looking that person in the eye if you're on the phone, or actually look them in the eye if you're not. Because they want to know that you're engaging with them, that you're interested in them and what they have to say. Of course it's okay to take notes. Here's what I found. If you only ask for 15 minutes of their time, they might think, oh, I don't know if I can do that. It might be a waste of time. If you ask for 30 minutes of your time, it's like, wow, that's a lot of time and I'm a busy person. So the key is to ask for about 20 minutes. If you ask someone for 20 minutes of their time for an informational interview, I can guarantee you'll probably get 40 minutes. I've really not had a person tell me that, no, they won't do an informational interview. Most people are very honored and very happy to help one another. Wouldn't you help someone if they asked you for an informational interview? I know you would. So let's do this. Let's identify the 25 organizations, the 25 people that you want to talk to, either on the telephone or face-to-face. Let's identify those people and let's craft our ask. We are asking for their time. We either want to gain information, we want to know more about their position, we want to know more about their organization. That's how you craft your ask. And with the yes, then you have your protocol. You set up that appointment time, you get there promptly, you call on time, you ask your questions. And I would also say that probably you're going to get to ask maybe 2 or 3 of those 5 questions. Why? Because that person becomes interested in you. They start interviewing you, so to speak. So you have to be prepared. You have to be ready. You have to know what is that I want them to know about me. What can they take away? What is it that you really want from this interaction? If you can get 3, and I say 3 names of someone else that you can talk to about this type of position, this type of work, this type of organization, you are a hit. You are a hit in your informational interview. If they say, do you have your resume with you today? Absolutely, and you pull it out and you give it to them, or you email it to them if you're on the telephone, but you get that resume because it's another set of eyes that are looking at your resume that gives them the opportunity to see more of you. So you must be resume ready and very happy with the resume that you have produced, hopefully for the type of position that you want. That is key. And at the end of that informational interview, it's now your opportunity to say, and what can I do for you? Because this is a very reciprocal interaction. This is an interaction where, yes, they're getting to know more about you, you're getting to know more about them. They've given you that precious gift of time. So what can you offer them in return? What have they talked about? What have they said? What type of activities? What type of community service? What's going on in their organization that makes you wake up and say, I might be able to help you with that. I might know someone who could help you. In fact, if you talk to my buddy about this, they might be able to advance such and such or this and that or whatever it was that was revealed in that interview. It's a perfect setup. It is a win-win. I have had people who have done informational interviews, and I ask them to do at least 5 before they stop. So I ask you today, commit to 5 informational interviews. Get that information you want. Talk to those people that you want to. Get your foot into the doors of those organizations. Use our Vanderbilt alumni network to find the people that you need to connect to. There's nothing better to talk to another Vanderbilt alum. They can open a lot of doors for you. Good luck.